Welcome to the Big Scope, and I'm here with Mohit Memoria of Authorito.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about everything crypto today. I think starting off, since we've just gone through a round of regulations in India,
Yes.
can you tell me what's going on? What are the new regulations? There's a lot of confusion about what happened on July 5th.
Okay, so I would not say like regulations, like typical regulations have come up. It was just effect of a notice that came out from RBI a few months back.
Right, they said you can't
Yes.
you can't deal in cryptocurrencies via banks or something like that. Right?
Yes. So the notice was like to the banks, to the regulated entities of RBI. So RBI said like all the banking partners, NBFC, like whatever, payment gateways, they will not support the companies, individuals, entities, both, who are dealing with cryptocurrencies. And July 5th was the date. So July 5th was the date when a lot of exchanges, crypto exchanges, were like thrown away out of the banking services, the payment gateway services, everything.
Right.
So a lot of crypto exchanges in India who are serving Indian customers were like, what do we do? But I would not say it has affected a lot. So for a couple of days we saw a huge dip, but that the market quickly recovered. Now these exchanges are coming up with interesting ways that they can still provide the services without the banking partners.
So how does that work? Is that you have to go and withdraw money from an ATM and go give it to them? How does that work?
Okay, so there was concept of there was already a concept called local bitcoins. So how local bitcoins used to work, it was a peer-to-peer network. It's a one website where you would say, I want to sell 3 bitcoins at X price,
Right.
and somebody else would say, I want to buy 1 bitcoin at the same X
Okay,
price.
so
It would match the order.
just don't get involved.
Yes. So the buyer directly sends the money to the seller's bank account. So in this way, the exchanges only take a small cut, which is like the fee for escrowing the money, because they escrow the money. They give me the money, give me the bitcoins, I'll make the exchange, give it to you guys, and I'll take a small percentage
But how
out of
can
it.
they do that now if the banks refuse to deal with them?
Yeah, so suppose you want to sell, say, 3 bitcoins. You'll deposit your 3 bitcoins with the exchange, with the escrow account. The buyer will say, I want to buy the 3 bitcoins at this same price. So buyer will send the money to you. Once this transaction is confirmed, the escrow will send the bitcoins to him. So banks do not come in between on the exchange level.
Okay, so they've changed the fundamentals.
Yes.
Where your experience doesn't change. You still go on the app, you say, I want to buy this,
Yes.
I have 300 rupees in my account, I'm sending it to this guy, you send me this much Bitcoin.
Exactly. But instead of now sending your money to an exchange bank account, you are sending the
send it
money
directly
direct to
to
the
banks.
buyer, to the seller's bank account.
Okay, and you can still do that through whatever exchanges, or do you have to do that separately?
So not a lot of exchanges are supporting this thing. Local bitcoins had been there like for a long time now. WazirX is another crypto exchange which is like ahead of its time. Like other exchanges are like just catching up. WazirX was like, banking services will go off on July 5th. I'll launch P2P on July 3rd.
Right.
Like just a couple of days back. So, but they come from a good background. So they're like, they know how to build products.
You're ready for this.
Yes. So WazirX is the only crypto exchange that I believe is run by the product people. Otherwise, all the exchanges are, I should not really say it on camera.
Just blatantly on camera, all the exchanges.
Yeah, man, sorry.
Hey, I'm okay with it.
I actually just forgot about it. I was like, sorry.
So in reality, even if you don't have any cryptocurrencies, can I walk in and buy one? Do I need to have a cryptocurrency to start exchanging in India now?
No. If your bank account, just register on these P2P exchanges and get hold of cryptocurrencies. And if not, remember that this entire cryptocurrency thing is a global thing.
Right.
If not in India, there are more ways. Like if you have bank account outside of India, you can definitely do it over there.
But isn't the notice from RBI say if you have any customers in India, then you can't deal with them anywhere on the planet?
No.
No?
It was just about the banking services. Like they instructed their banks to not provide services to these entities. So entities can like still run. So that is where the regulations are still in the gray area.
Okay.
What happens to the crypto exchanges? Do they bring out a license? Do they ban them? Do they legalize them? What do they do? So that is still in the gray area. But until that happens, they're free to operate in any way that.
So do you see this as a temporary solution from the RBI? Trying to regulate something they don't fully understand yet, so they're trying to get a grip on it?
Yeah. So I'll tell you a couple of things. In India, how regulations really works is, first they ban it for a few years, and then they start opening a few doors. So same thing with the Ola Uber thing. They're still not legal entities, but
right, yeah.
Same thing. Yes, same thing with the satellite channels. When the first satellite channels came in, they just banned it. Hey, only Doordarshan will come in here. Satellite channels, I don't know what you'll show to the viewers. Yes, to the public, you might brainwash them. But eventually they understood, like, hey, like
Just
this.
TV.
Yes, if we just regulate it, things might be better for everybody. So I think this is the same manner where they'll say, let's protect the people first, and then we'll start opening the doors, which will allow only the sophisticated enough people to start investing, who understand the risk, to start putting in their money, hard-earned money.
Okay.
I think it's just a thing that we do.
Do you think that's a good method to deal with new technology?
Not always, because the longer you wait, the farther you get into the line.
Yeah, because you get stuck,
Exactly.
5 years behind everyone else when it comes to innovation.
So whenever things like these happen, like radical things like this happen, these are great opportunities for nations to become bigger nations. Like these small countries like Estonia, Malta, which nobody had heard of before. They're like inviting, they have legalized the bills. Hey, you want to open a crypto exchange? Come over here, we'll give you bank account, we'll give you license, everything
Yeah,
legal.
I mean,
Companies are moving over there.
I heard Japan, for the first time in decades, has had positive growth rates because of the crypto exchange.
Yes, Japan, Russia. Russia has said, if you invest in cryptocurrencies, we will not even tax you for the first 5 years.
Wow.
Yes. So these are like nations who were not dominating enough. So, but like US dollar was the dominating currency.
Right.
But these nations are now getting an opportunity to become, say, crypto valley sort of thing. Like
So
Silicon Valley is in US. So one small country might become crypto valley in
soon enough. Yeah, some in Singapore or something. Okay. So then let's move on to the second part of the discussion we're planning to have today is, you were telling me there's a lot of opportunities in this space for anyone who wants to get in. Someone with a basic amount of tech background, basic amount of financial background, who wants to do something in the crypto space, in the blockchain space. So what are these ideas you think that anyone can pursue?
Yeah. So when I talk of opportunities, I look at the bigger problems that this entire ecosystem is suffering with.
Okay.
So I will tell you, a lot of money has gone into this entire ecosystem in the last year. A lot of projects were funded. A lot of projects were failed. A lot of projects were hacked. And millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars were stolen by the thieves.
Right. Over the last few years.
Yes. And these kind of inefficiencies in the market really puts off the institutional investor, say pension funds, who have like hundreds of billions of dollars under their management, and they want to like get in, say, just 2% of their money.
Right.
They'll not, because infrastructure is not there.
So you're talking about like the ancillary industries. The guys who, for example, if you say automaking, the guys who make the little nuts that put the wheel onto the car. There's little things you need that makes the whole infrastructure work.
Exactly. So I would tell you, exchanges are still getting hacked.
Right.
Why? Because there are no good custodian services. There is nobody in the world who says, hey, put your money all in here, I'll secure it, I'll insure it, I'll give you like, I'll make sure that money doesn't get lost.
Isn't that the basic contradiction of cryptocurrencies, where if you have a third party saying, we will provide these services for you, it destroys the point of a cryptocurrency which says we don't need third parties?
Exactly. Now,
so how do you get over that contradiction?
Now, here's the funny thing. Now, funny part is, all of these centralized services can actually be coded into smart contracts. So this is one of the biggest opportunities in this industry, which is, if somebody can create a custodian protocol such that, what custodian services really mean is, suppose you have bitcoins will be unlocked using some private key. Now that safe custody of that private key is the entire game.
Right.
Now, how do you keep that private key? You keep it in software wallet, hardware wallet, but then you have a like 24-word phrase that you keep.
So you write it down, someone loses paper, loses the wallet,
exactly.
It's all gone.
So now, can there be a protocol such that this entire private key can be like sharded into various places, distributed on the blockchain itself, and nobody will get to know like which part it joins with which part? It's like a puzzle.
So you're talking about using blockchain itself as a third party.
Exactly.
Okay.
I have met a lot of people who are building centralized custodian services, and they'll really provide some value-added services. Like they'll do taxes for you, they'll provide NAV for you. They'll if you submit the money from say Switzerland and you withdraw it in India, they'll take care of both the countries' regulations. So they'll provide these kind of services, but they'll come expensive. And still you are trusting a third party.
Exactly, that's still centralized.
Exactly. But I believe solutions are there. Solutions not really there, but people
potentially they're there.
Potentially solutions are there. I have personally studied this particular problem, and I have particularly figured out a protocol that could be built upon this. So custodian protocol is one of the biggest opportunities on the blockchain itself.
I mean, it's just funny because the first person that comes to my head when you talk about custodial services and over the internet or computers is McAfee. So what he did 20 years ago for Microsoft.
Yes.
Now this is a guy who's actually super into cryptos. How come someone like him hasn't gone around building it?
Okay, so McAfee is like a huge supporter of hardware wallets, and he has like given his name to a couple of hardware wallets. Hey, this is the best hardware wallet out there.
He's given his name to a lot of things.
Yeah, he just gives his name. But we have to like start thinking, are hardware wallets really the solution to the custodian services, to the custody problem? They are not. They are definitely not, because ultimately what the hardware wallet does is, hey, I'll secure a private key, nobody will be able to take it out, but to recover, if you, in case you lose your hardware wallet, you write down these 24 words on a piece of paper. But now the risk of security has moved away from private key. It has really moved to these 24 words. So now it doesn't matter somebody steals or like, but if you lose, this is security. Nobody will be able to extract private keys out of a hardware wallet, but somebody can just read the paper out.
Yeah.
So
it's representative of the fact that
I think
people
hardware
don't
wallets are
trust
not the
the system to the
solution.
point that they're going offline.
Yes.
So how do we find an online solution?
Yes. I don't think hardware wallet is the right solution. So there are multiple. So there is a algorithm called Shamir's secret sharing algorithm.
Okay.
What this guy did was, this guy was the same guy who invented RSA encryption algorithm.
Okay.
So now this guy, he said, if you want to share a secret, a sensitive information, there is actually a mathematical way, in a manner that you can divide it into multiple parts, share it out to different users. Even if all the users get together, they cannot decode it. If you have one part, if one of the users gets hacked, no, the hacker cannot.
He only gets one part.
Everybody, like 100% of them will have to like get together to hack something. So which is like pretty enough, and a version of these. There are multiple variations of this algorithm now.
Okay, so it goes back to the same basic Bitcoin protocol. If you need 51% to do anything.
Not really. Like
you need a majority of people.
No, not really majority.
Say, I want to break into this one person's account.
Not really majority. So you can define policies. You can say you'll need 2 of these, 3 of these, and 1 of this to really get the private key. So this is like really configurable. Okay. So some people are really working on it. But again, that thing really comes down to some level of trust within your friends, to whom you are distributing these pieces of the private key.
Oh, so it has to be some people you have personal connections with? It can't be random nodes online?
Right now, it cannot be, but potentially there should be.
So that's the opportunity.
That's one of the biggest opportunities. If I can put my private key on this network, and this network just scrambles it, distributes it throughout the world, even I'll not know where my private key is. Therefore, not even the hacker will know. I'll say I have 10,000 bitcoins. They'll never know which private key.
It's impossible to hack because you don't know what to hack.
It's mathematically impossible.
Right.
So one of the biggest opportunities out there, whoever solves it, there will be large money for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of because you've got the entire cryptocurrency community at your doorstep.
Exactly. All the institutions will use your protocol. All the retail investors will use your protocol, and all the hardware wallet companies or software wallet companies, they'll go obsolete actually.
I mean, they'll probably copy you rather than go obsolete. But
so basically there will be just one protocol, like which everybody's, because if there are 10 different protocols, small protocols, like it's in I know 10 people are in there, 20 people, but there will be one large protocol, all the private keys in there, 50,000 people devices, 50,000 devices, that's good enough. And if more people join in this network, the more secure the network becomes. So actually, I'll invite everybody, hey, join this protocol. So there's a natural incentive in this protocol. It's in this so this is a network effect. So I believe this is one of the biggest opportunities of this year, or say next 12 months. Yeah. Everybody's talking about custodian problem, but everybody's thinking about centralized versions of them.
Okay, so it's one of the strange things about the
I'll tell you what's stranger. I met this, I should again not name this, but we'll see. Edit out if you don't feel
X.
right.
Let's say X.
Yes.
You met X.
So, Vitalik said something like central exchanges should burn in hell, because again there is some level of trust. But again, I met someone from Ethereum Foundation, and they were building a custodian services, again a super centralized custodian services, which I was like, why?
What is the point?
Yes, one day you are saying central exchanges should burn in hell. The other day you are saying, hey, give your private keys to me, I'll keep them secure. Again, you are doing the same thing.
What did he say?
Yes. So I don't know, but what his point was, hey, but somebody will have to take the responsibility. If something gets stolen, we'll repay them. I was like, yeah, give that responsibility to mathematics. Like you are saying, government is taking responsibility for
your own technology.
Yes, exactly. So it's why did you even build Ethereum for then?
Yeah.
Because fiat was good enough, because government is taking responsibility.
Yeah.
It's all about removing the trust and responsibility from somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know, there was some contradiction, but yes, a lot of people are trying to build centralized version of custodian services. Oh, but I really feel the opportunity lies in the decentralized protocol of the custodian services, if anybody can do it. This is one of those rare problems that nobody's talking about. The last year, everybody was talking about exchanges, and I am like 100% sure next 12-15 months, everybody will be talking about wallets, custodian services, how to keep your assets secure. I think this is...
that's the next step. That's how you regulate, right? That's how you get governments to secure. You're saying, yeah, I've got a secure way of keeping everyone's assets, currencies, whatever you want to call it, safe.
Exactly. First step of everybody's crypto life is to put some money in the wallets. That has to be robust. That has to be best experience for them.
We have to stop having millions, hundreds of millions of dollars going missing from exchanges every couple of months.
Exactly. And you do not also want to like keep track of your 10 different wallets for different currencies.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Mohit. That's
thank you for having
discussion. Me. That's what, that's the future of crypto. That's what you want to do if you want to get into crypto.
Exactly.
Look for all the ancillary industry opportunities.
Bye.